If you have challenges, just let me know. Okay? And then, after that, once you have collected your data, that is now you have data, you analyze your data, and then that's when it becomes a scientific write-up. Okay? A scientific write-up. A scientific write-up, you will put it in a form of your report. In addition to it, they are also going to ask you to prepare in a form of journal paper. Have you seen journal papers? Have you read any journal papers so far? In your year one? No, if you, yes, just raise your hand. If not, anyone? No. Have you heard the word journal paper?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's enough, more than happy, don't worry. Okay? You're just in year 2, so that's fine, don't worry. Okay? So this semester, you're going to read a lot of journal papers. For this research project, you got no choice. You have to read journal papers. Okay? What do you understand about journal papers? What is it, journal paper issue? Your group is so quiet that it's like a library. Any idea what journal paper? Do you know what is it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? If you say no, then I can provide answer to you. Okay. Journal paper is a scientific write-up, okay, where few authors have written the paper, and there's another group of reviewers who has read that paper, okay, and then the editor has again read what the reviewers have said, and then after that only they publish. That means someone's reflection is being vetted by many people, and then it's being published. Compared to, if it's a newspaper, whatever the reporter says, it just goes in without being screened, without being read. Can you see the difference there? Okay? So anything that comes out in journal, it has gone through few filtrations. Okay? Clear up? Okay, that's why we always ask you all to refer to journal papers and not with any of the newspapers. Don't refer to newspapers or blogs or FBs, because that are people's opinion. It's not a scientific opinion. Scientific opinion means you have to go through the scientific process. So scientific process is you collect data, you analyze data, you write the manuscript, there will be a group reviewing your manuscript and they give you feedback, and after you have corrected based on the feedback, the editor finally decides whether this paper can be published or not published. So that's the whole process. Okay, so why we want you to look at the journal papers is because the topic that is being looked at, that you will be assigned, will be something new to you. Because now also you don't know what's your topic, isn't it? You don't know what's your topic, and you'll be given a topic asked to do, so you need some understanding behind that. Okay? So that's the reason why we ask you to refer to journal papers related to that topic. So when you get that title, what do? You Google up for journal papers for the topic similar to that. Read those journal papers in order for you to get an understanding of your title. Okay? Once you get an understanding of your title, then it will be much more helpful when you go and discuss with your supervisor. Is that flow clear? Okay. So, referring to journal papers, reading, understanding, and then you're going to use them in your report. That whole process, we call it as literature review. So you review what others have done. Okay? So in your report, there is one chapter dedicated for literature review. So if you read less papers, then in that chapter you will have less things to write. Then it will weaken your whole report. Okay? The more journals you read, then your literature review chapter becomes rich. Is that okay behind? Okay? This I'm telling you now in upfront itself. spend more time in reading literature, in reading journal papers, so that your literature review will be strong. And once your literature review is strong, the benefit is you know what to do better now compared to before. Okay? So say for example, you get a topic on diabetics among community or diabetics among school children. Say diabetics among secondary school children. You get the topic. And you want to know how to undertake that particular research. So then you Google the papers. You say you're able to pull out, say there are about 70 papers you're able to pull out. And out of the 70 papers, when you read through, then you realize 30 papers use questionnaire to determine diabetes. Another 20 papers use blood tests to determine diabetes. It's when literature is so important. Okay? So later when your supervisor asks, how do you want to determine diabetes? Then you have something to say. Okay? So when you speak to a supervisor, we don't want that to be opinion-based. We want that to be fact-based. So the supervisor will ask you, why you want to do using questionnaire? You say, no, because based on literature review, there are 30 papers outside there who use questionnaire to determine. Is that clear with that? So everything that when you speak, you have data to back up. Similarly, when you're doing a proposal presentation, when your examiners ask you, why did you decide to use this tool and not any other tool? Then you will say, yes, because this tool was used by another 8 more studies. Yeah. I just want you to feel comfortable that you have something to justify. Just to move out from, it was my choice, it was my preference, it was my opinion. You want to take out that. This was not my opinion or my preference or my likes or what, no. This was because there was, say, 15 papers out there which says, this is the way to do it. Okay. So when every time people ask you a question, you have every time to defend. So during proposal presentation, even though you're only 3 of you, but don't forget, behind you, there were about 20 literature reviews behind you. That means there were 20 researchers behind you. Okay, so everything start defending, saying that, no, because this research said this way. Okay, each time when you defend that way, then you are much more strong. Can I? Okay, good. And then the final will be your project presentation. At the end of the day, after 1 year, this is what we must achieve. If we fail to achieve this, then this course has failed. Simple as that. Okay? We don't see it as you failed, but we see as this course has failed to transfer the knowledge that it was supposed to transfer. So at the end of the day, after 1 year, you can cross-check back again this slide and ask yourself, was this achieved? Were you able to identify the statistical analysis? That means if I do project A, what kind of analysis I need? If I do project B, what kind of analysis I need? That one you should be able to differentiate. It is not the same statistical analysis for all the research you know. Okay? Certain type of research requires certain type of analysis. So that is what we will teach you for the next 2 weeks. Okay? So at the end of the 1 year, this question has to be answered. Okay. Then the design research, there are many types of research designs that will also be shared to you, which you should be able to know. Okay, identify suitable statistical analysis. And then 4th one is solving research problem. Solving research problem, what will happen here is, in your whole research project, the first starting point we will ask you is, what is the problem that you want to solve? Every research should only be undertaken if there is a problem to be solved. If there is no problem, there is no research. Are you okay? Research can only come into place because you want to solve some problem. So if you fail to identify the problem in the beginning, that means you are going to be in problem. So in this research, the first point, the first subtopic will be problem statement. Are you clear with what is your problem? If you want to do about obesity among school children, that numbers has to be there. If number of obesity among school children are less, that means it is not a problem. So it doesn't warrant a research to be undertaken. Okay. Right? So identify the problem first. That's the biggest challenge actually, to identify the problem. Okay? That's why the topic, we are not asking you to identify the topic. We are giving you the topic because your supervisor knows the problem. Okay? But later on, keep in mind, when you go to do any research, that first bit has to be clear. Problem statement. If the examiners are able to shoot you down, saying that this is not a problem, then the whole research is gone. Okay? So even though your supervisor tells you there is a problem, you should have the facts to prove there is a problem. Because your examiners will ask for the fact. Okay? So be very clear. The problem statement has to be established very clearly from the beginning. And the problem statement, when you define the problem statement, it cannot be opinion-based. For example, you cannot say that, I think there is a huge parking problem in front of our faculty. There's a huge traffic problem in front of the faculty. They will ask you, if that is your opinion, where is the evidence to show that? So if you have an evidence which shows that the number of traffic volume passing by in front of the faculty is this number over a 1 hour period, and that means it's more than the capacity, it means it's a congestion. And just to differentiate opinion compared to scientific evidence. Okay? Am I scaring you a lot? I'm also worried because all of you are quiet. So I thought this is an opportunity for me to let you all know before because after this you're going to be with different supervisors. There are going to be 36 supervisors. Yeah? So I'm telling you something which is common and general so that you meet the expectation of the examiners. That's hey, don't be too worried. Don't be too worried. So far no one failed research project. Don't play the history. Yeah? So far no one fails. Okay? But please don't play history. Okay? Alright. This was what I was telling you. 36 groups. I think mostly I covered. Okay, your presentation, your proposal presentation, as well as your final presentation, we will try our best to make sure it is face-to-face. But previous year, what we realized was we don't have enough rooms to run the face-to-face session simultaneously. So what happened was, I think almost like 70% was face-to-face, 30% was virtual. You know? We will still make an attempt, try to get everyone for face-to-face, but be prepared. There will be a small group, may need to go virtual. You all prefer face-to-face or virtual? Anyone prefer virtual? No, all face-to-face, huh? Right, we also prefer face-to-face because when you see the examiners in front of you, you enjoy it. That's why you want that, isn't it? No, mainly for clarification. You have an ability to clarify. Okay? You really have an ability to clarify. Not only during the session, even after the session ends, since the examiners are with you in the room, okay? If there's any doubts you want to clarify, you can clarify. So that's why I always prefer that face-to-face. But just to let you know, the previous year we had limitation. We couldn't run. For the same time, the number of rooms available was not enough. One is number of rooms. Second is, not all rooms at LCT are also working well. Okay, so we had like 2 or 3 rooms where we had the room but not the LCD. So challenges as well. Okay, so be prepared. Some of you all, if need to go for online, then online, virtual. So what I did last time was, the group which went virtual for proposal, I make sure when they go for final, they go for face-to-face. I swap it. Okay? So at least you will have one session face-to-face. Okay? Okay, and then you will be given individual logbook. Okay? It's a soft copy, I will share it later with your rep. So that's individual. Keep in mind, sometimes you may get confused. This is a research work. Okay? Research work, but there are some evaluation individual, some evaluation group. Okay. What is individual is your test, your both medical statistics test. The 2 tests that you're going to have, each test are 10%. The 2 tests are individual. Plus the logbook is individual. Okay? And then your supervisors will have a form to fill up in terms of assessment of the members. Okay? So supervisors usually when they give assessment of members, if everyone are equally performing, equally attending meeting sessions, equally updating her or him, then everyone gets almost the same. But if there are the sleeping partners or partners in coma, all these cases are then their marks slowly go down. Okay? So then we get the kind of variation of marks from the supervisor. This is what we have seen. Your reports, everything usually goes same, shared for everyone. Okay? Unless during the proposal and final report presentation, if the examiners ask questions specifically for certain individuals, they say, okay, this question I want you to answer, this question I want you. And then when they can realize or they can sense that there is 1 or 2 person in that group, no, it's not up to the mark, then the mark they can give different. So I'm telling you upfront, beginning itself, before you start, everyone, please be on par on everything. Okay? Don't try to be a specialist on, say, you are specialist on literature review, you are specialist on research method. No. The idea is everyone should know the whole research project. Can I? Okay. And keep in mind, logbook, each time you meet the supervisor, please write down your logbook. So your logbook, at the end of the day, you're going to hand it over to us. From there, we will see how active were you, how frequent you met your supervisor. And your supervisor has to sign and verify it for us. This is standard. Okay? This is standard. Your final report will have these chapters. Okay? But if your supervisor has a different view, follow your supervisor. Is that clear? Yeah? So if your supervisor has a different view, you follow supervisor. For those who don't have, who didn't provide any views or what, you use the standard. Yeah? Because the idea is you should not be in a conflict point. If you're in a conflict, then you can't do anything. Okay? But generally, I believe all supervisors will follow this. Sometimes some supervisor may break that chapter 5 into 2. That means they'll have chapter 6 as well. Okay? So when they break it up, then the chapter 6 will be your conclusion and recommendation. So it depends on their pattern, doesn't matter. But the only thing is, everything is there. It's just that where you want to park it. Okay? The most that we have seen variation will happen in the last chapter, that's all. The first 3, basically it's standard. It doesn't change anyway. 1 to 3 doesn't change. Who has samples of previous thesis in the hand? Not yet. Planning to get one? Yeah, know how. It's also a kind of literature review, correct? You're reading what others have done, isn't it? Okay? So good. I would say please get one, so that you know how does the whole format looks like. Okay, how does the whole format looks like? How is it from beginning till the end of the journey? Okay, you can have more than one, doesn't matter. So I would recommend it, have more than one, because don't restrict to one. Because if the one that you get was not a very good reference, then your standard is also based on that. Okay, so get few, no problem, no issues at all. Okay, no issues at all. Are you familiar with Turnitin?
Yes.
Have you done that?
Yes.
So we got no issue. At the end of the day, after you finish your report, you're still going to send for Turnitin. Okay? Then from that percentage, we will know how much similar, how much not similar. Okay?
Turn it in. Plagiarism check. Hopefully.
Your lectures, these are the topics. You already have the timetable, isn't it?
Yes.
A kind request to the class rep, please remind the lecturers a day or two before. Yeah? All of us can easily forget. Okay? Thank God you reminded me yesterday. Okay? But you also shocked me, because the email message you sent me yesterday, you said the lecture was on 16th October. You sent me yesterday, 17th. Yeah. So I thought I missed it. And I realized 16 was Sunday. So please remind everyone, because sometimes we may overlook. Okay?
Banyak nih. Jangan lupa video
The
copyright.
titles here will also help you in terms of if you want to look for extra reference books or what. The titles also will help you. Okay?
Multimedia. Oh, multimedia.
And all the lecturers for the teaching part are from community health department. That means their office are same row with my room. So it's good to have a walk in that roadway, because all of them are there. Okay? All of them are from the same department. Okay? And most of them also will be the potential supervisors as well. All right. And then from these sessions, the one related to statistics, we will use the computer lab. Most probably will be MK2. Okay? We will just reconfirm that with you. I believe it's always MK2. And each session in the lab will be about 27 of you. You all are total 106, correct? Okay? So 106, what we're going to do is we're going to break up to 4 groups, so that you will have a much more closer session with the librarian first. Okay, the librarian, you're going to have a much more closer session. So that one librarian will be with roughly about 26 or 27 of yours. Okay, that one, please don't miss the session, because she's going to teach you how to get those journal papers. Okay, she will guide you how to get journal papers, how to search. And then if UPM library doesn't has it, where you can get the whole flow, she will teach you. Yeah? So that one, please don't miss it. Okay? So I think that will happen. Oh yeah, this one. Okay? We have breakout to 4 sessions. You will be assigned to those sessions. Okay? So later on, her name is Puan Akiza. She's the chief librarian in our faculty. So she will liaise with the class rep. I've given your number to her. Okay? So what happens is she will assign who are the 26 people who will go for session 1, who are another 26 people who go to session 2. So you need to go to only one. Okay? Not all 4, only one, and you will be assigned. Is that clear, Kenna? And please, that 2-hour session that you have with her, if you're not clear, please ask her. That's one. Second, just ask her, if later on I have any queries or any doubts, can I come back to you? And how can I come back to you? If she gives you her email, take it up. If she says you can walk into her office here, just ask whichever the matters. Because sometimes, at this point of time, you don't know what question to ask, because you never ventured into yet. But once you are into it, that's when you find some blockage, when you cannot move forward, then that's time you need help to troubleshoot. Right? So ask her, how can you follow up that kid? She's very helpful, very nice lady, okay? And ever willing to help. So please tap her expertise. Is that okay? Right. So before that, this research progress report. We have about 6 progress reports. Sorry. Okay, we have 6 sessions, but these sessions we don't need everyone. We just need 1 rep from the group. So each group, how many people? 3. From the 3, we just need 1. Okay? So you decide who's going to come for that session. Okay? You decide, but make sure every group are represented. What will happen in the progress report session is we will ask every group to give us update. How far are you progressing? One is for us to get update, for us to know where are you. The second purpose is for you to let us know what are the challenges you are facing. Okay? So if there are things that we can troubleshoot, we try to help you troubleshoot. Okay? Either we can solve it or we will channel you to someone else who can solve it. So the progress report session is important. Is that okay, Ken? So I've planned it in such a way that the sessions, for each of the sessions, there is a purpose that we want to meet. Okay? Say the first one is to get an update on your proposal. How far are you in your proposal? Will it be ready on time for us to, for you all to present it? Okay? Because proposal presentation date is one, but you have to prepare the report earlier because that report we will send it to the examiners to read through first. So we will give examiners roughly about 10 days to read. So when they read, they have their comments, everything, so that on the day when they come, they have something to comment and something to get. Clear? So this is what will happen on the presentation day. As I told you, mainly physical, we'll have some virtual. We have allocated 4 hours time, but don't worry, every group is only 1 hour. 1 hour, what happens in 1 hour? 30 minutes, you're going to present. So I take it roughly, you have 3 of you all. So everyone got 10 minutes to speak. Equally. Because it will be unfair if someone gets more, someone gets less, then maybe the marks evaluation is slightly different. So roughly, everyone gets about 10 minutes. Okay? If you're a 2 in a team, then you get 15-15. Okay? So you plan it in such a way how you want it to be done. Okay? So 30 minutes you present. Finish presentation 30 minutes, that's when the examiners will start questioning. And we are giving 30 minutes for examiners to question. You've got 2 examiners. In every session you will have 2 examiners to question. And we try to make sure that the 2 examiners are from 2 different departments, so that you get a view from different angles. Yeah? Right? That's what will happen on the day. Okay. In Community Health Department office, she will be your main focal point. Okay? If you go to Community Health Department office, first floor, you will see her, Puan Khairia Fahmi. Okay. That's her email address, that's her phone. Okay. So, your proposal, you're going to send it by email, soft copy. We are trying to avoid printing it. Okay? To reduce your cost as well as to reduce our part in terms of to distribute to all these examiners. It takes time to distribute. Okay? So you send it to her by email, okay? And then reconfirm back whether has she received it. We had a few instances where you have sent it but she didn't receive it. Okay? So always send it, do confirm back. Have you received it? Right? And always in the subject, in the email subject, write in your group number. So it's easy for her to trace. So if you're going to send a proposal document, then always say put group 14 proposals. Or if it's final report, then say group 22 final. Okay? If not, pity her, because she'll be receiving, say, 36 email, and she will get confused, because the idea is we don't want her to spend time to open the attachment in order for her to know which group. Don't do that, pity her. Okay? If it's in the subject matter itself, much easier. Yeah? And remember your group number as well. Don't forget your group number. Okay? After your proposal presentation has been cleared, you have done your proposal presentation, you get feedbacks from the examiners, you do the correction, your supervisor agrees to the correction, all done. And then only you're going to submit to the ethics committee. The name of the ethics committee is called JKE-UPM. That means Jawatan Kuasa Etika UPM. Yeah? UPM Ethics Committee. Okay? So you will submit to ethics committee. The deadline is 30th January. Okay? Similar method, you will send it to Puan Khairia. Puan Khairia will compile, and then she will send it to JKE-UPM. So what Puan Khairia will do, since you all are 36 people, she will send batches, batch by batch. The first 10 that she received, she will release it first. The next 10, then she release it. So if you do it fast, but don't rush without doing the correction. Make sure you do the correction. Everything is all done perfect, clear, very nice. Then submit to her. So, because once you submit to her early, then once you fall in the first 10, then she will send it to the ethics committee. Okay, what happens next? Once she has sent to ethics committee, then ethics committee will go through it roughly first to see have you met their format. Once they filter that you have met the format, then they say, okay, now this document is ready to be given to reviewer. If you don't meet the format everything, they will send it back. The moment they start sending, you correct, you send, that is going to take a lot of time. Because they won't send it immediately. They will also compile after certain numbers they will send. So we are going to lose a lot of time there. That's why I say don't rush. Make sure that you do it perfectly and then go to send. Is that okay, Kiana? Right. So once ethics has already screened through your format, all looks okay, they will send to 2 reviewers who we don't know. They won't tell us who are those 2 reviewers. Okay? The 2 reviewers will go through it, and then if they have any comments asked to do corrections, they will write the corrections, they will send it back again to the ethics secretariat. Then the ethics secretariat will email your specifically. So there is a form to fill up. That form, the email address has to be there. So that after that, ethics deal with you directly. Ethics will never come back to Puan Khairia. Puan Khairia is only the beginning to compile and send it. Once she sends it to ethics, after that all dealings are between ethics and you. Okay? If you say, for example, some groups has already got the approval, say your group has not got the approval, you can email directly to the ethics. Or the email address is not here. Later I can share. I will share with you the email address. You can email to that address, specify you are from group what. Then only they can trace. Then they will let you know what is the status. Is that okay? I would encourage you, if after some time you don't get any feedback, do drop them an email. Because we are just worried in case if they missed out ours. Okay? Or they already have the review, but they thought they sent to you, but you never received. Okay? So you can contact them directly. Because if you wait for us, it will be even more delayed. Is that okay? This is also what I was mentioning. During the holidays period, okay, the dedicated data collection period is between 26 February to 22nd March. But very rare you get a chance to do during this period because you may not have got your ethics approval by then. Okay? If you get the ethics approval, you can do it. Okay? But sometimes some of the groups, they only get it after that. So once you get it after that, you have no choice. You can only do whenever you get it. Okay? So, for those who get it, and then if you don't use that time during your break time to collect data, then you really miss a big opportunity. Okay? Because not everyone will get it early. You are lucky to get early, and if you don't use that opportunity, then you really waste it. Okay? Data collection is up to you and your supervisor to decide the method. Do they want to do electronic data collection or they want to do the hard copy version? That's between you and your supervisor. Okay? Between you and your supervisor, and what does the literature review says. For that kind of study, what kind of data collection has been in practice. To say the class is going to end. Right, then later when come for poster presentation. This is another guy from the community health department, but his office is in the lab. In the community health lab in level 4. Okay, community health office is in level 1. Community health lab is in the lab section. It's in level 4. Okay, so you will be emailing to him the soft copy of your poster. He will help to print for you. So the idea is we don't want to burden you with the cost of printing and for you to go out to print. Okay? Last year the faculty still allowed, the faculty absorbed the cost. Okay? We will still go ahead with that plan unless the faculty says. Okay? The idea is you don't have to travel much. Finish your design, just email to him. He will have to print out. Finish printing, you go and collect it from the office, from the lab. Is that okay? Yes. Whoever who has finished it earlier, send it to him early because he will take time to print 36 posters. Whoever comes first, he will print first until the cartridge is there. So send early, you are lucky. Right? But then I'm only worried when you send early, I scared there's an error. And then you will send back again another email to him saying that don't use the earlier one, use the latest one. Okay? We had that issue every time, not only for the poster, especially for the ethics one. After submitting to ethics committee, they say no, we found some errors, so kindly ignore the earlier ones and use the newer one. If it's one or two groups, then okay, but if it's many, then they also feel uncomfortable. And we are worried we may confuse them. Yeah, but if there is a major error, yeah, if we need to notify, we need to notify. Okay? But please don't rush. Make sure that you feel really comfortable about it. Yeah? So that's Encik Ahmad Mustafa, he will help you on that. And then the poster presentation will happen in the lobby. Okay? He will arrange for the boards to be there. You go and paste your poster. And you'll be standing next to a poster. We'll have different examiners come. That means if you have 2 examiners for poster, for proposal, we try to have another 2 for poster. And then we'll have another 2 for scientific article. So that you get different views from the okay? Not the same person again and again. Okay. Usually we try to retain the same examiner is for the first one, which is proposal, and the last one, which is the final report presentation. So that the comments they gave, they can cross-check back whether you did it or not. You get the idea? Because sometimes they give comments, but then if you change the person to a different person next time, no one knows the name. So that 2 checkpoints, the first checkpoint, the last checkpoint, we may try to maintain the same vision. This is your output. This is what you're going to produce at the end of the day. So from this whole research, you're going to have 6 outputs, and all these 6 will be evaluated, the marks are. So keep in mind your checklist. The first one will be a proposal document, and then the rectified proposal document which you send to JKE UPM. After you have done all the data collection, you have your final report. Once you have presented your final report, you get views from your examiners all settled, then we want you to do poster. Poster presentation is more of you are dealing with public. Because public won't have time to read the whole thesis, isn't it? And sometimes it's too technical also, isn't it? So you want to reach out to more people. You want to reach out to the academia community, you also want to reach out to the general community. Okay? That's why so using different platforms. Keep in mind, because poster you can't write everything, isn't it? So that will teach you to identify what is the most important that you need to convey. You cannot convey all the results. So you're going to pick up the important ones to convey. Picking up is one thing. How do you put it up in a poster in order for people to understand? You know, sometimes when you see some posters, you feel, wow, this poster is so nice. Or this one, because they're using infographics, so it's very nice. So try to learn that part as well. Information sharing. How do you share information in order for people to understand your information that you have? Okay? So that's why we are introducing poster. And then scientific article. Scientific article, very specific, is only for academic community. Okay? Because in that is where you're going to have all the statistics, figures and everything, the analysis part all. So that one, generally academia will understand that better. These are the dates, the 3 dates. Okay? Proposal presentation, final report, poster. All these are presentation dates. Okay, are the dates all okay with you all? The numbers all okay? We didn't choose any disturbing numbers, don't worry. Okay? So, feng shui all good.
13.
The test. Correct, isn't it? So far all the dates, the feng shui numbers are all okay, isn't it? No sure. Right, so test 1, test 2. Test 2 is most likely test 2 will happen in the lab using the computers for your SPSS. So you must be familiar with SPSS. You cannot think that because 3 people in the team, okay, you allocate that SPSS to your friend. But don't forget, your assessment is individual. Okay? Anyone's birthdays on these days? Enjoy, celebrate it after exam.
Amrita.
Right. This is the interesting part that you might want to know.
Yeah.
Because you all study for marks, right? Right? It's not for knowledge, isn't it? Right? How nice, huh? Every subject without exam. Subject without exam, I have to study for knowledge, isn't it? Study with exam, you study for the marks. Correct, isn't it? Yeah, I think not. So we were also students also study. So we had that opinion. Why do we have these things? Last time we used to think this is against human rights. Yeah. You want to study for knowledge? Okay. The marks there. Are you all clear? Any queries on the marks? One of the courses with the highest number of evaluation. Because you have small portions. Okay? Even up from 5%, 5, 10, 15. Yeah. But keep in mind, everything is continuous. Everything will build up towards your final report. Once your research is gone, everything is effective. Your final report is gone. From the final report, you're going to extract it into your poster. Isn't it? And then from the final report, you're going to extract it into your scientific article. It's very much linked. If you strike the whole thing. you lose out, you lose out the whole. Okay, that's why do it slowly, do it well, and don't forget it's not individual work, it's three people. It means you have strength of three resources into the team. No way, I mean, very less mentally you can go wrong. Very less mentally. Reference, these are fine, but then you can just Google any reference book with the name research method, statistics. They are the same. No issues. Okay. Even better if you have any like health-based research method. The research method are the same. It's just that when they have the word health in the book, the examples are health-based. That's all. In order for you to understand much better. Okay. The research designs are the same. Doesn't matter which field. The statistics are the same. It's just that if you have the word health statistics, it's just that the example they're going to use in that is health-based. They will use something to do with dengue, malaria, all those things. If you don't have the health, then they will have on something else. They may have on, say, vehicles, animals, all those different examples. Okay. Right, I'm done. Any questions? Oh, you clap your hands. So nice. I didn't know, first time my lecture had been clapping. Any questions? Okay, when the class ends, can see all happy face, smile face. The class started all sad.
Scary.
Okay, good. If you're done, thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Dr.